started running when I lived in Switzerland, and the reason I started running was because I used to bike a lot and swim a lot. I love training, and somebody came to me and said, Andrea, if you just ran, you could do a triathlon. And I thought, well, let's try it out. And I did a triathlon. I loved it so much that I started running. Before that, though, I always told people I do every sport except play golf and run. And now running is one of my biggest passions because I do it so much. And that has evolved coming here to Mumbai, because at the beginning, when I first came 7 years ago, not many people were running in Mumbai. But little by little, people have been joining the running scene, and the possibilities have been getting bigger and bigger. And so I have been able to go from 10K runs to 21K runs. The NCPA Bandra Run is Bandra NCPA is a very popular one. And then eventually I did the 100 kilometers in the Himalayas. And that was all just possible because of the opportunities that were given to me here. Like I mentioned before, when I first came to Bombay, I remember being on Bandra Carter Road doing the loop there, and it was me, Giles, and one other person, I think his name is Anil. And we would wave and say hi to each other, and we were the only three out there at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And little by little, there were more people coming out, and people curious about it, asking about it. And now, if you see the amount of people out in Bandra at 5 or 6 in the morning, you can't even count them, and they're all new people, and they're all doing their own training. It's not running, but it's training. It's trying to lead a healthy life. Unfortunately, now our life is more based on just going to work and doing our daily things, and none of it involves having to run to work or walk to work or do some physical activity. So in order to stay healthy, I do a lot of training, and I just feel it in my body. Whenever I train, I feel great, and when I don't train, my body feels like doesn't feel very good. And the same thing with everything. I make sure I eat correctly, because when I do eat correctly, my body feels good, and when I don't eat correctly, I don't feel good. And that's why I do it, it's just to feel good. How I see it is the diet has to be eating healthy. I eat a lot of fruit. I get a lot of my carbohydrates and my minerals and proteins from minerals and vitamins from fruits and lots of vegetables. That's a big portion. Yes, I have carbohydrates. I'll have the potatoes and rice, whatever it is I need to have, but I don't overdo it. I don't think that going out and eating a lot is the answer. It's eating regularly, eating well, and eating according to what your body needs. Most of the times your body asks for what it wants, and it's just listening to it. Doing 100 kilometers or doing 21 kilometers, you need to make sure your body has all the nutrients in it. But you don't want to overload yourself with lots of whatever food. So I've always found it hard to figure out how to make sure I have all the things I need in my body in order to not only do the run, but be well afterwards and be able to continue my normal life. And your product, I felt, gave me those extra things I needed without having to put extra food in into my mouth. The pre-one was great because before going for a run, you need to have something in your body so your body has something to burn up. And it was very easy to put that spoon into my glass and drink it, and plus I'm taking in as well liquids with it. The during one, I have had things like Gatorade before, which are way too sweet, and I've tried different things, but again, just this thought of something chemical inside me was not okay, and I did not like that. If the whole reason for me to do training is to have a healthy body, then why am I putting chemicals inside me? Your product gave me the opportunity to put what I need inside my body, and I feel okay because it's organic. Then the post thing has been the biggest one because it's the protein, the extra protein I need that I can't eat, because I can't put 5 eggs inside me after a long run, but I can take your scoops of after run product and it's fine. And I've seen a difference as well, because I have seen this, and I do a lot of vlogging of my runs and how I feel after, and in yours, what I did see was that By taking your product, I recovered faster, I did not feel as many aches and pains, and I felt better. I felt stronger, and I was able to continue. So that's why of the jar I have, that's the one that's gone down the fastest. You have given me the opportunity of putting in protein into my body when I need it, and it's natural, and I'm not having to look at other things like meat. You have to be careful with your training to make sure that you have a certain training plan. And by training plan, it doesn't mean just going out and running. It means going to bed on time and sleeping well every time so your body has enough time to recover. It also means eating well throughout the day. It also means doing your stretches. It also means doing strengthening once a week at least. I'm required to go to the gym, or at home you can do certain exercises for strengthening. And it's following that patterning and being very strict about it that you become injury-free. You can't run if your core is not strong enough. So if you go for a run and you feel great, that's fine. But if you continuously do it and your body doesn't have all the muscles in place to do it, one muscle is going to do more than the other, and eventually that muscle is going to get injured, or the other one eventually, if you do use it and is not prepared for it, is going to get injured. So you need to make sure you do cross training so all your muscles, your core muscles especially, are strong enough to support you in running. Running is very hard on your body. So cross training, if you go swimming, you're still getting the training your body needs in aerobic or aerobic, but you're not putting your weight on the joints. Cycling, the same thing. You're using also other muscles. It's good to develop other muscles, not just the ones that you use for the same sport like running. Squats and lunges, and I want to say plyometrics, but you have to be careful. First you have to master well the basic ones before you go and do the plyometrics, because you could get injured there too. Planks. I love doing planks and just measuring how much longer I can sustain it every time. So front planks and side planks. If you're just starting, you need to start slowly. You need to take it slowly. Start with 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers. I train students right now, and I train them for 2 to 3 kilometers. But things that are very important and people need to consider is form. I have my students do the cross training, but then I also observe them in their form and how they run. There's so many things that are important, and that also causes you to be able to train injury-free, is making sure you have the right form. That means how your head's positioned, how your arms are positioned, how your feet are positioned, your body is aligned. All those things need to be taken care of, and you need to find a coach or somebody who knows about it to see if you're doing it right and to teach you correctly how to run. We have lost our touch in how we should be running because we're no longer in touch with the world, nature. But if we knew how, so we have to retrain our body to learn how to run. That's where the whole barefoot came in, but a lot of people didn't realize why it was. So that was one thing. And then the other thing is, again, start slowly. Don't go straight to a 21. Start with a 2K, start with a 3K. Even if it's run, walk, that's fine. Then build up to a 5K, then build up to a 10K, and slowly build up your distances. I'm not sure where the whole hype of running longer comes from. I would say when you hit a certain distance and you're comfortable with it, say a 5K or a 10K, go for speed. Train for speed. It's fun. It's harder than going for longer distances, and it keeps you injury-free because you're training for short distances. And science is now showing us that we don't need to run longer. We just need to be training consistently. So training for 10K is fine, and just increment your speed and challenge yourself that way. Again, make sure you eat correctly, you sleep well. If you're going to take this seriously, you have to also take your whole day, change your daily routine to make it better, healthier. it comes from the fact that we don't know how to run, because it comes from two facts. First, that the shoes that came out with the big soles were for comfort instead of teaching us how to run. So a lot of injuries came from there, and now people realize, oh no, we don't need the soles, we actually need to be able to run correctly. The problem is we run on cement, we run on streets, and I don't know how that, even shoes without shoes, is going to be hard on your joints, so that's a problem. I guess and then the rest is up to people. Have them check that your posture is correct, and they'll give you tips. Even you won't realize when you get tired, sometimes your head goes to one side, and that will stress out your whole back. Or when you're running, I've seen some people run like this. And this makes your running go, your energy is going from side to side versus forward. When you're running, you need to be concentrating that all your body position is going in a forward motion and not side to side. That your body is all aligned versus tilting your head, bringing up your shoulders. All these are very common, typical mistakes that people don't realize because they're tired. And to have that checked by a physiotherapist, and also learn, the physiotherapist will tell you what muscles to strengthen in order for that to avoid those things happening. You started?
Yeah.
I suggest that run. If people want to run because you want to have a healthier life. Run for the joy of running. Enjoy it. Don't become too competitive in it. Don't get stuck on this is what we have to do and this is what this trainer said. Just enjoy it. Go out, do it correctly, and have fun. Compete against yourself versus others, and just enjoy.